everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I thought I would do a video on 10 things I wish I knew before I moved out. As some of you know, I've moved out now and it's been about 7 to 8 months. I know a lot of people are going to be moving still with the recession going on and different things with the virus at the moment. So I thought I would do a video to help people of all ages move into their first place and the things I've learned from moving out, as I've learned quite a lot. I should also be talking a bit about my personal situation, and I should also be talking about the typical kind of situation that most people normally have to take, as my situation was quite different. I had a different arrangement with a family member for my property, so it was quite different. I'll just tell you a little bit about that now. What happened is my stepdad bought a property for me, but my mum also put some money into the property, and that money I should take out when we sell the property eventually, and I buy my own house and have my own mortgage once I'm more settled with work and my finances. So what would normally happen is you'd pay a deposit for the landlord, but I didn't have to sign a lease or a deposit. So my situation is quite different, it's quite unusual. But that's just the way we had to do it at the time, as I was new in a job and I couldn't rent a property off a landlord. Some landlords, they want a month or 2 months rent up front, and that can reach £1,000 to £2,000 or more, depending on what the rental is per month. So with that, I'm just going to get into the video and start with the first thing on the list of 10. The first one is rent / deposit. I've wrote down here. Now the thing is, like I said in the intro, you have to pay a deposit normally. They'll look at how much you earn a month and they will want to have a deposit. There is a new law that came out in the UK that there is a deposit scheme now that the landlord has to put the money into, and it is supposed to be safer than landlords just spending it and then not giving you the money back. There was a lot of issues with that, I know, a few years ago, with landlords running up with deposits, but now they can put it in a safe account. That's your deposit, so when you come back or when you move out, I should say, if everything's satisfactory and the landlord's happy with the condition that you've left the property in, they can give you the deposit back then, and they won't need to take your deposit for any damages or cleaning fees. Really is why they take a deposit, because it's a big investment for landlords. As I do know a bit about this, as I said, my stepdad's got a number of properties, and I know it's not as easy as everybody makes out having a property. You don't just sit on it, you've got to maintain it, and if your tenant either trashes it or general wear and tear, if they move in and they move out 5 years later, you've then got to repair things and put a new kitchen in. At one of his properties, he's putting in a new kitchen at the moment, and then he's put in a new bathroom, because no one wants to rent a property if there's another one nearby and yours has got a bathroom from 1982 where someone else has spent 5 to 10 grand on a new bathroom. So I'll just tell you that. And really interesting was setting up the bills. The first thing I'll tell people to set up is your water. My water, and I know another YouTuber that I've spoken to and watched her videos, they can be a bit funny, the water people. They wait and wait. What you want to do is, in the first month or 2 of moving in, is set up your water bill. Mine is set up with Severn Trent. It's not like gas and electric where you get options. You'll be told where the local water company is for your area. It's split up by the areas, like West Midlands will be Severn Trent, Essex might be something else, Southern Water or whatever. So I'd advise you set up the water first, the gas and the electric, and the internet and Wi-Fi I'd set up first as well. So that's your gas, electric, and your what else did I say? Gas, electric, Wi-Fi, and your water, sorry. So they're the 4 things I'd start off with. But then the 5th thing I'd look into is your insurance, because your landlord will have property insurance if it gets flooded or something happens to the roof. But the other thing I had to pay out for was for contents insurance. So that will insure my camera that I'm filming on now. It will insure my phone if that was there. I've got some Google Homes that I use for my lights and bits and pieces and the radio. And it's all for your contents, whereas it's understandable your landlord won't pay for the contents of your property because it's your stuff, so you need to pay for that, and they'll pay for the building because that's what they're legally responsible for. Whereas when you own your own home, you'll have to pay for both as well as your mortgage. The other thing I was just saying before I move on was the Wi-Fi. Now this can take quite a while. Mine was a funny one because I wanted Virgin. I only wanted the internet. I didn't want a phone line. So I had to have a box put in, and the other box is just at the side of my settee here, which was for a landline to plug in. But Virgin had to come out and they had to fit their own special box so I could just have the internet on its own up the other corner where my lounge windows are. So that can take quite a while, so that's why I put that in the top 4 things to do first as well. 3 is DIY. Now the other thing I found was I bought a bathroom cabinet, as you might have seen in my home tour video, and it was sitting there for a few months. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the virus, it wouldn't have. I quickly ordered it on Amazon because we still wasn't really allowed to go to shops and things at that time. So I thought I'd quickly order one from Amazon. It was a matching set. I got the toilet roll holder, which I put my a toilet roll and some toilet cleaner and air freshener in. And then I've got my cabinet with the 4 drawers and the little door that opens out for my cleaning stuff in the bathroom. So I've got them 3 things all ordered around the same time, so I had some storage in my bathroom. Now the thing is with that is you have to make it all yourself, but with the bathroom cabinet I struggled a little bit. It is a few centimetres a bit too low on the one end. But I did that myself recently to put it up. Some people will pay for people to come in, but regardless if you're renting or you own your property, it can be quite a lot of work and money to pay for, so it's better to do it yourself really. The main problem I had was I've got a hollow wall where my door is, so I had to get special wall plugs from the ones that were supplied for brickwork, as a lot of properties, depending on the age, can have hollow walls, so I had to get the wall plugs for that. The other thing is your landlord, if you're paying for a lease and that, will be responsible for anything that comes with it, like the washing machine breaking, the boiler. They should also have a landlord certificate. I know my mum's just had to pay for one for her property, so I highly advise you look at that as well when you're renting your property. They'll have to show you that before giving you the keys, or the agent will. And so that's quite a new thing as well, that they've had to step up that as well, because people are having boilers in their properties that they were renting, paying a premium price for, and they were leaking and there was different issues. So that's quite a good thing to check as well. With my property, as I said, because I'm renting it off my stepdad, our agreement was we would work it out as we come to it. So with me, I put up my own bathroom cabinet, and he said if I wanted one of them fancy tower radiators, it'd be up to me to pay to have it put in. Generally, your landlord, when you are on a lease and you've paid your deposit, will only pay for things that are broken or aren't working. They won't just replace cosmetic things unless it is fully refurbished and they're having a whole refit of the property, or that room, like the kitchen or the bathroom, are the most common ones that my stepdad has done on his properties. So that's quite important as well. The fourth thing is decor. Now this can range from artificial flowers, vases, plants and blinds. I did find it quite a lot of money. I will be honest with you guys, it cost me £5 before I'd even moved in. I was very lucky to have someone loan me this money. My dad put in some money to help me get blinds, curtains and this settee that I'm sitting on now, because that was quite a lot of money. It's the most money I've ever spent in one time moving out, to be honest. I also had carpet. I didn't need the carpet, but I had some hole tiles in the hall and I wanted to extend one of the mats. You know, you get them mats and you can wipe your feet on them. Well, I had a tiny one, but I wanted to extend it, so it protected my carpet up the hall a bit more. I've also always lived in houses with carpets, so I wanted some carpet somewhere because everywhere is hard flooring. So I was shocked at really how much it cost to fit out your home. Decor is another thing that costs a lot of money, or it can do. Now I've been looking on things like Spock and Facebook marketplaces. Now generally speaking, you want to select a few local groups on the Facebook market page, as I generally find on that one, the more you join, like if you join 5 local groups minimum, there's more choice of different people posting. Not every person will post in several different groups. Some will, some won't. So you can see different things. Oh, sorry, I've got an itchy nose. You can see different products and like furniture. Now, there is a girl that I can link below called Dainty Dress Diaries or something. I'll link her below in my comment, in my description, and she does some fantastic videos on how to do up your dresser. She's made a planter. She's bought a kitchen from IKEA and done that up for her niece and nephew. Her name's Catherine and she does some really good videos, and she's inspired me to do some DIY ones. 99% of her house is out of reusable things. She's reused the table from someone else and she's painted it, and she's done it all up in a shabby chic cottage style. So it just goes to show you don't need to spend a whole fortune on buying all this new stuff from IKEA and the range and this and that. You can buy whatever you want, and you can also do it up as well. It costs a bit of paint and a bit of time, but you can always make time for that, and it's quite rewarding as well. So that's really inspiring as well, to do your own thing in your own style. And once again, it's more environmentally friendly than just buying new stuff and wasting all the packaging and the emissions. Number 5, I found quite interesting, because I know another YouTuber said this as well, is living on your own. It can be quite lonely. With the lockdown and not being able to see my mum and my stepdad and my other family members and friends, I felt quite isolated. Now, the last month or two, I've had a few health issues, as you know, so I have been working on that, but I also come to realise that I would be better living with someone else. So I have joined a few dating sites because it is good to share your life with someone else. I'm quite a sociable person. I think I'd feel less lonely. I could have moved into a new property. We could have bought a new apartment when I moved here, but I moved here because it's got a balcony, and at the time I was thinking to have a dog. I still want to get my dog, but I think I've read up a bit more since, and I'm going to wait until I'm working from home and maybe either self-employed from home or I change jobs where I can work remotely, because the prices of dogs as well, they've gone right up at the moment. They're really expensive. The Highland Westie Terriers that I wanted was a maximum of £1,000, and then you had your £500 insurance on top for the year. But now they're like £2,500 just for the dog alone, and I'm not going to pay that because that's too much. Number 6 also links in with some element of socialisation and people. Number 6 is working with other people. Now, because of where I live in a maisonette, which is like an apartment. So apartments and maisonettes are the main two in the UK that will have some kind of block management company. Now, you'll need to ring them up about different things as events happen. I had a neighbour who kept letting her child throw drink out the window, and it's making all my windows dirty. As I'm on the end, my property is a bit like an L shape. I've got 2 windows at the front for the lounge and the other 2 windows upstairs in my bedroom, and then I've got 2 on the side. So I can see the front and I can see the side of me. And then to the right is my neighbour and all the other blocks. So I had people throwing drink out the window. So I rang the block management company, and they were very good, and they got it sorted out in the end, and we've reached an agreement now that she's going to keep her windows locked and not let him throw stuff out the windows, because this also was causing trouble when the gardener come. Now the gardener is paid by all of us. We all pay a service charge, which I believe is, I think mine is about £2,000 a year, the payments is. For the whole year, but I just pay that monthly because it's too much to pay all the years up front. I think everyone just pays it monthly. But this goes, the service charge goes towards the garden, and it goes towards the lighting as well for the people upstairs who've got a communal entrance and the intercom system and all that. The other thing as well is you will be speaking to your neighbours, hopefully, and you should get on as well. I've got 2 neighbours. I've got one above me, and then I've got one at the side. Now, everybody else around here on this block has got 3 neighbours. They've got one above them and one either side. Like my neighbour next door, she's got me, and then she's got someone on the other side, and then she's got one above her. So for some people they're not bothered about that, but for others it can be quite stressful to have too many neighbours banging around above you and banging either side next door. So we thought this property on the end would be the best out of the 2 that were up at the moment, up for sale. Yeah, like I say, it's quite important to work with your neighbours, as you can look out for one another. And me and my only neighbour next door, we get on quite well, and we take parcels in for one another, and we sign for things and have a talk in the garden, because we've got a communal garden as well. It's nice to ask them about things about the block management company and what they're doing, because we've had a lot of work being done on the balconies out of our service charge money, and they have to have a committee meeting and tell us how much they're spending on that, so that can be quite good as well. Number 7 for me was cooking. I've put here. Now I live on my own, and I found it quite hard to do meals. I signed up to HelloFresh, and I'm having a little break from them at the moment because I signed up to the wrong meal plan, and I was having too many meals. What was happening is I had too many meals and then more was coming. So what I'd advise with HelloFresh is it's very good, very fresh food. I absolutely loved it. But I'm having a break now and I might rejoin them, because I found not only with HelloFresh but also with food you buy from the supermarket, a lot of the recipes you follow are for 2 people or more. So this means you get 2 portions, and when you're living on your own you can't freeze all the different portions. Like you can't, when I had a burger from HelloFresh it was 2 burgers and wedges, so I couldn't freeze the burger that I had to cook at the same time as the other one. So what I did is I just left it in the fridge or on the side covered up and had it the following day. Now I'm one of these people that likes to normally not eat the same thing twice. So what I normally do is I'll have pizza today, but then I won't want pizza tomorrow necessarily. I'd want rice and chicken or a mixed meal. Where some people are quite fine with that. They'll have the risotto that they did yesterday, they'll have tomorrow at 12 o'clock or 5 o'clock when they're getting from work. But I found it quite hard managing my fridge. But I will be doing a video about my fridge and how to clean it out, and I shall be doing one. I might put it in a blog or I might put it as a separate cleaning video, just how to clean out your fridge and stuff, because that does need doing, and also about stock rotation, because that might help some of you as well. Number 8 in this list of 10 is savings. Now what I've got here is saving for things. Now along with my rent I pay, it is very cheap to be honest, because I'm renting it off a family member, and that was one of the things in the agreement, that I wouldn't pay a market price as if I was paying off a landlord, otherwise I couldn't afford to live anywhere really, basically. And it was a way that my stepdad said he'd help me with my help to buy. Whatever I'm saving on my rent goes into my help to buy. I'm saving roughly about $200 a month in my help to buy, and that's building up. It's the most I've ever saved up within a year, so it's really exciting for me. The other thing is, at the moment, I don't know if I've told some of you, but my dad has gone to Africa. I sold my car around March time, before the lockdown, and I sold my car and I've had his car. He's since come back from Africa temporarily, but I've also got to start making plans for saving for 2022 when he is back for good, because I should also then need to add my money to some money he's given me to buy a car, as I am looking at buying a new car, but that might also be a time the year when I'm looking to move and buy my own house. So I'm trying to roughly plan my life, but trying not to have a mortgage and a new car on finance all at the same time. I don't want it all in the same year. I'd like them at least a year apart, or 6 or 12 or 6 months apart at least. The other thing I'm saving for as well is I'm saving up for a holiday to go and see him in Africa. Now this is really good as well, because I only need to save up for the spending money, but I don't know how much I need, but I am planning to save between 200 to 500 if I can, and I'm going there in April, so I need to carry on saving for that. The other thing is as well is I joined a fantastic app called Monzo. Now I would say they're the same as any bank, but they're kind of not. They're like a normal bank, but they don't have any branches. You can't physically turn up into a branch and ask about problems you've got or cashing in. It's something outside. It's all online, it's all on an app, and it's all very convenient. The only bad point I can think to say about Monzo was what I missed about my HSBC is I could pay my cash in when I sold things on Spock or PayPal. I could or anywhere like physically where people come and give you cash for things that when they picked it up on Spark. Say I sold a telly or a plant or something, whatever random item I'd sold, they would come with cash more often than not, whereas I prefer PayPal now, because with Monzo it just transfers over into my account, whereas with cash you can't pay it in, like I did with HSBC. There's nowhere to really put it. Like with the post office, I used to take my money from Spock and I used to take it to the post office. They'd take the cash and transfer the money electronically to my account. Unfortunately with Monzo you can't do that, which I have been a bit disappointed about, but I still don't see the point in setting up another HSBC account or a business banking account to just do that once in a while. So what I have to do now is I have to give my money to someone like my mum or my stepdad, and then they have to transfer the money once they put it in their traditional banks. Now the other thing I was going to talk to you about is the parking. I've always grown up in a house where we've had 1 or 2 parking spaces right out front, so we can watch our cars, but also it made me realise how convenient it is just to step out your front door and to get in your car and drive off. I realised this is another thing I should be looking at when I buy my own house. Hopefully it'll be 3 to 4 bedroom house, and highly likely a new build, because it's on the Help to Buy scheme and the government wants first time buyers to at least buy a new build, as it's more viable than an old property that stands a higher chance of having problems with boilers, roofs and other surveying costs. I've got a communal parking area, which apparently it was in the deeds. My neighbour said that we are supposed to have our parking spaces, but now it's just a free-for-all because there is no proper numbers on the curb. I will be asking the block management company if anything can be done about that, because when I work up until 10 o'clock at night and come back, there's nowhere to park. People are parking all on the pavements and they are parking anywhere and everywhere basically. So that can be quite stressful for me. Depending on you and your job, it might just depend on your personal situation. Does it bother you or not? I mean, I do know another person that shares a communal car park as well where she lives, and she does YouTube as well. And the other thing that she did mention, which I found interesting as well, because I found this, was vacuuming your car. When you've got your car on the front, you can just vacuum it, and with a cable trailing all in your house. But here, for legal reasons, I can't have my Henry Hoover trailing all the way across the main footpath and the public spaces to vacuum my car. Whereas when it's on your drive, it's private land and people shouldn't really be walking across your drive when you're vacuuming your car. I used to just do it at my mum's, plug it in downstairs and I could get around the whole car with the Henry Hoover. I really miss that actually, being able to vacuum a car. So you might want to get like a wireless vacuum as well, or take it to a car cleaning valeting place, depending if you want to pay for it or not. But I like to do it myself normally. The other thing as well I found where I live with the parking, the final thing is the trees as well. There's a lot of sticky and birds mess that comes off as well, because there's a pigeon infestation where I live. But I just kind of put up for it for now, because I know it won't be forever, and it's just to start a property until I've built up my money to buy my own place. So I'm grateful for what I've got at the moment, but we always want more, don't we? Number 10 in my list is amenities. Now, this area where I live is quite popular because we've got 2 shopping areas. They're only small shops, but we've got 2 one-stops. One's independently owned as a franchise and one is owned by Tesco's Limited, or whatever they call themselves now, which is owned by Tesco's, and that's the bigger one. The other one, we've got an off licence of butchers, and we've got a care home, 2 care homes, and we've got, what else have we got? I think we've also got a hairdressers as well. We've got a DIY shop as well, which is quite good. I do want to go there at some point. And then the other block of shops where the main one stop is, there is a baby 3D printing shop that's just opened up. There's a hairdresser's, and I can't remember the other one. I think the other unit is closed. So also we've got a park. There's a lot of people that live around here that have got dogs, cats and that type of thing. There's an awful lot of dogs there, more than cats. Sorry about that, I've got an itch. So with the park, it's about 5-10 minutes over this way. So a lot of people can walk their dogs as well. We've also got a lot of self-employed people over the road from me. There is a couple that run a party business, which is quite good. We had a florist. She's now moved. Before I moved in, she moved a few years ago, and she used to do it from her masonette. And we've also got 2 dog walkers. We've got one over here on this estate, and we've also got one down the road, I've noticed when walking around the local area. Now these are all great amenities as well, so depending on your lifestyle and what you like to do, and where you like to shop, you might see a place that's near an Asda or a Lidl, and you might prefer the one that's nearer the Lidl, but then it might not have parking. So it all depends as well. There's lots of different factors to look at when you're renting a property, because there's different things you might like and won't. There will always be pros and cons from any property. I know this too well when I had my florist. Some had good room for storage, some didn't. Some had better parking, but the rents were higher and you had to pay rates. And it's probably a similar story with residential properties as well. So the amenities are quite important to look at as well. I like the fact that there is an option of a local butcher's instead of buying pre-processed meat from the one stop. But also a lot further down the road, I can walk it, but I do choose to drive normally because of carrying the bags. But we've also had a new Lidl open. So I have been in there once, but because I've been on HelloFresh, I haven't been in as regular as I might have planned. But I will be doing a shopping haul in there once I've done my October autumn videos as well. So I shall be doing another shopping haul on a more reasonable budget, because I know last time it was a lot of money for most people. So I'll be doing a more realistic budget of £30-35 on Lidl. So that's everything really. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up and comment below for what videos you'd like to see next time and what you liked about my videos. This really helps my channel to grow, as I'm still fairly new and still finding my way with editing and what people like. But for the next 2 months or next month, September, October time, I'll be looking at doing autumn hauls and shop with me. Now I've watched someone do their shop with me and it looks really good. I really want to try the shop with me. So it's going to be different and it will be a challenge for my confidence, because it can be quite nerve-wracking filming when there's people watching. So I am going to plan to go at a quieter time, so I'm not filming random members of the public that don't want to be filmed while they're going about their daily business, and there's not people getting in the way. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll be doing ones with the range, home bargains, home sense, B&M bargains. So keep an eye out for that. Right, I've talked enough now, so I'm going to finish here. So please leave a thumbs up and comment below, as I said before, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!